Yes, Noob Nuts, we just got done with Pew Logic's 2v2 down at Joby's Field in the south of Taiwan in Tainan. So, as many of you might know, Pew Logic, we've been trying to bring the international competitive airsoft gameplay to Taiwan and to the players here. And now with COVID lifting, what we want to do further is to maybe one day put together a national team and go play out there. So come support us, either buy our merch or join our event, or just show love by pressing that like. Anything like that helps us reach that goal. Thank you for all the love. When we decided to host this event in the south, I was kind of nervous because, as you know, we've had all our events in the north. The last Going Dark was in Hsinchu, which is like an hour from Taipei. But Tainan is like 4 hours away, right? So we didn't know if we had a big enough community out there. So we set the maximum squad at 10. That's also because the physical space at Joby's Field isn't that big. It can take in about 30 people, 2 people per squad. So that's 20 players. Plus staff, refs, and spectators. That's about 30 people. So I was kind of nervous if we were gonna meet that, but luckily we did. So thank you for everyone that came out. Shout out to all the teams from the south that came. There's DXD, they're repping Canada and South Africa. So Dale from DXD has been talking a lot of shit, man, for years actually. So finally get to see him, so that was good. Also, there is愛吃火雞肉飯, fucking awesome name, as well as Badgers. Of course, we know Badgers, they came out to our last 5v5 SpeedQB exhibition and they really surprised everyone. They did really well. The teams that actually came all the way down from the north, of course, OPS came. Sushi and Jason from OPS decided to go with their own brand SPO this time. There is Soland. We shout out to him, to Diego. They came down the night before. We crashed at the same hotel. They brought a whole cooler of drinks, man, just sports drinks, soda for everybody. Also for the field, Joby, he also did that as well with a bucket full of drinks. That's mad love. Also, SGT joining us for the first time, and they came all the way to the south to play with us. FGMT. So FGMT actually didn't come out with just one squad. They came out with 3 squads. So shout out to all the players and teams for the past all of the events that came out to play with us that has never played before. You're going up against some of the most seasoned players of this league, and that can be very intimidating. But there's no best way to learn than from that, right? One of the things that I forgot to remind players on event day is that, no matter how poor your team performs, if you do your best, people will be watching. Other players and other captains will be watching. Some of the things that we can be sure of after every event is that there will be a lot of change and shifts in team roster. So after an event, this player will get poached over there and this player will get switched to that team. Just do your best, right? People will see. It was a casual tournament and you can sort of see that in the team roster. It was kind of fluid, meaning that, for example, OPS, it was Jim and Javelin is our newest recruit. She has a lot of potential, so keep an eye out on her. Jason and Sushi decided to play under SPO just for this tournament. If you have a keen eye, you will notice that FGMT won with a Ghost. His other players, 192, that actually joined our sport in the last Going Dark event. His jersey is actually Soland, so he's actually Soland's newest recruit, but he will be playing with Ghost for this tournament. Also, Maury, who is usually staff for Pew Logic events and an OPS member, is playing with Speedy repping Badgers for this event. So it's very lighthearted, everyone just playing, having fun, honing in their skills, and prepping and getting ready for the next 5v5 SpeedQB. I know some of you are asking me about it. Right now it's out of my hand. I can't officially announce the event until everything is set, but I've done everything I can, so we just gotta wait. But if everything is set, it'll be in September. So a month from now, next month. I want to get this done before I fly back to the States because I'll be gone for 3 months, right? So September. Who else should we thank more than the players and teams are the refs, right? People that decide to dedicate their 8 hours just standing there watching players. And it's hard and tough being a ref because if you do everything right, everyone just takes it for granted. But if you call somebody out, they think you're the worst person in the world. But people came down and volunteered to do that. So Whiter, Harry, also from Tainan, Shoutout. He plays at Joby's Field. He's curious, he wanted to know, but he wasn't sure if he wanted to join, so he volunteered to be a ref. And if you're curious, but if you don't know if you want to play yet, then join as refs. That can help you acclimate a little bit easier. The 4th ref, which is Chi, actually he played Milsom and speedsoft in Canada, Montreal, but he came back from military duty, so he wanted to help out, and he actually worked for Tactic in Montreal airsoft shop. So shout out to Chi and his shop. If you're in Montreal, go check him out. Jason ARG for the finals, I asked him to help me film and he did a hell of a good job, as well as Ghost, joining even though he was late. Shout out to him for putting together films and making footages like that. Super awesome. People like this, that's how you help build a community.
The 2v2 was a casual promotional exhibition, so we pretty much only penalized no calls. But some of the things that happened on the 2v2 that day will not be allowed for the 5v5 official tournament. For example, Ghost arriving late, we will not be shifting the schedule around so his team can play when he arrives. His team on official 5v5 will have to play without him. Also, ref influencing. So if the ref called you out, don't try to talk to the ref, debate with the ref. That's minus 25 points. Next, we'll be picking up gear. You cannot pick up gear when the game is going on or is about to kick off. You can only pick up your gear after the game is over. Guns malfunctions. We will only give you a certain amount of time for you to fix your gun. If that doesn't work, then you can play without your gun or you can just not play at all. People are calling out verbally hit. Don't do that for official events. Just walk off the field, don't call out. Lastly, some players, once they're hit, they were staying on the field, just sitting there. So remember for 5v5, if you're hit, walk off the field or else that's also minus 25 points.
Now, I know we haven't done MVP for our past events, but I think I'm gonna do an MVP for this event. Most valuable player of the event. A lot of people play very well. If you watch Diego and Ghost, they were going at it, they were very aggressive. Ting Ting from SGT, I saw him play before months ago, and now, like you can see, he improved a lot. So many players, but MVP, I'm gonna have to give it to Mori. Why I say Mori? You might say, wait, but he's staff. He's part of Pew Logic. For all of Pew Logic's event, Mori has been a ref and a photographer. Mori actually brought like 8 AAPs, which were all loaned out. He brought like 12 of his tracers as rentals, and one actually broke. On top of that, Badgers, the captain, Kevin, on the day of the event said that he can't join because he forgot something that his family has to do, which left his teammate hanging. So Mori had to jump in. On top of being a ref, a photographer, a videographer, had to play for Badgers with no gear.
Going in for every round either as staff or as a player is extremely exhausting. And yet, together with Speedy, they were able to grab third. On top of all that, he just had his ACL surgery, so he couldn't even really run.
I think we need to give him a hand. I think we need to give him a hand. Who else should we show love? Of course, the sponsors, Ace Tech, Galson, and also Dr. Black. They've been showing a lot of support for the teams and also Pew Logic and helping us hosting events. We are very looking forward to having them on board to grow this community as we go forward. Just to let you know, Pew Logic, on top of Monk, we have SpeedQB products as well. On Rootin in Taiwan, we're still putting together the international site, but that's gonna happen too. I'm just super busy. We're all super busy. For all of our events, we do point accumulation, meaning that it doesn't matter how well or how poor you perform, you will play up against every single squad out there. Now, of course, if the event has too many teams, then we will do our best to match you up with as many squads as possible, but you will be playing throughout the whole day. You can see from the score sheet here, OPS and SPO have the same score of 165. Badgers and Soland have the same score of 180, and FGMT 1 comes out on top with 205, and that means FGMT 1 will either fight with Badgers or Soland for the top bracket. SPO actually forfeited and give the opportunity to OPS, so that bumped OPS into the second bracket. Now for Badgers and Soland, at this point, Soland successfully challenged Badger and was therefore bumped to the first bracket. Meaning that OPS will be going up against Badgers for the third place, while Soland and FGMT1 will be duking it out for first and second. So for the finals, it'll be the best 2 out of 3 rounds. Ref, good, good. You can see Javelin here, she bumps up to the cover. I think she should really push up more on the side. Many players break to the nearest cover. I think they need to either go wide or else you'll be ceding the initiative to your opponent. Good comms from Jim. Many new teams and players aren't really talking, and that's something you guys need to overcome, right? You need to talk and know where each other are and what each other are doing. One of the things as you watch the final rounds, you will see that, you know, OPS, Soland, as well as FGMT1, they do really good comms, especially for FGMT1 and Soland. Their comms has become more audible as well as more receptive. You can see them like, where is he? Like, hold him, pin him. Comms, very important. Jim took out Speedy at the snake, Maury took out Javelin and rushed, but then Jim and Maury traded here.
When it's 5v5 and one of your teammates is knocked out, statistically speaking, that means you just lost 20% of your firepower. In 2v2, when one opponent is knocked out, they've just lost 50% of theirs. Once these factors are relayed to you, players need to act and react accordingly.
If you're a front player, you need to keep pushing up and vie for that space. So a lot of times I see players for this 2v2, they push up to the snake, but they stay there, right? They're not bumping up. You need to be more proactive.
Interesting that Jim has taken the back corner and just waiting. Without comms, Maury most likely thought Speedy's out, so he circles back to the snake.
Maury got a TK here and gave OPS 5 points. But in the end, Maury manages to take out Jim with a single precise round. Badgers, I think you guys should be thankful. Yeah. Alright, finals. We have Soland versus FGMT1, round 1.
枪跟脚 ref good ref good all right ready
Great example of comms. Diego called out where, Song replied castle, Diego heard, turned and peeped, saw ghost and took him out.
good ready
Hold on. 192 took out Diego off the break and traded with Song here. Now you'll see Song uses his torch quite often, and I know many players do, and that's an issue that I actually have. One is that when you have the torch on, if you are at a certain distance, it doesn't really blind the players and it attracts their attention. So unless you want to attract their attention with your torch, be more careful, or else what you're doing when you're turning your torch at all times is you're letting the other player knows where your gun is pointed at. Of course, you can utilize that, make that into part of your strategy, but yeah, I wouldn't advise turning it on at all times. And also, we are looking into maybe banning all torches for future events, as that seems to be the trend in competitive airsoft around the world. I've been seeing very good play from 192 as well as some from Soland, so we will see a very strong roster, I think, coming out of Soland going into the next 5v5. So everybody else, watch out. Congratulations to Badgers coming up third, Soland second, in FGMT 1 as first for the 2v2. Keep an eye out for the official announcement once everything is set. So it'll be very quick from the point of announcement to the point of event. It'll be maybe just within a few weeks. But if it's going to happen, it's going to be next month in September. All right, 5v5 SpeedQB. So just get your gears ready, load up your mags and all that, because it's going to pop off. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Noob is out. And also remember, don't forget Pew Logic. Pew Logic, SpeedQB merch. Go check it out. Deuces.幽灵的徽章2个，1号 Number 1。